losing objective Duff.
They're attacking! Group rally attack!
All right, look at that, functioned properly and everything. So this is the C96 Mauser, or in Battlefield 1 it's just referred to as the C96. And there's a couple of different variations of this gun actually in the game, and the one that I'm talking about in this video is only the sidearm version, just the handgun, that one that you get that already has the rifle stock on it and the forend when you're in a vehicle or something like that. That's a little bit of a different gun, so I'm just comparing it to the handgun in the game. But this is exactly like the one in the game in basically every way. They knocked it out of the park with this one, I have to say. You know, I looked it over very closely in the game and it's pretty much spot on. I'm going to take it over here, show you guys what I mean. Now this gun is also referred to as the broom handle because of the kind of odd grip. It's one of the first successful semi-automatic handguns ever made, so that's why it's kind of weird and kind of awkward. So it does not have a detachable magazine, as you can see there. It feeds almost like a rifle, like a Mauser with a stripper clip. So it's kind of interesting. But so if you look closely at the gun there, you'll see that, I mean, man, they really nailed it. I mean, everything down to the lanyard loop, the grips, the texture on the grips, these cutouts here, these reliefs in the metal in the frame and everything, and even like the tooling marks on the frame, you'll even notice, are basically the same as you see it in the game. The spot down here where you take the magazine apart, the hammer with the hole in it. The one absolute minor difference is back here where the firing pin is, but like I said, there are several different variations of these, so slight differences is actually something I expected. I expected there to be a lot more differences, to be honest. I was really surprised. If you look at the right side of it, I mean, it's all pretty much exactly how you see it in the game. So they must have had one just like this that they copied, you know, and turned into a CGI version to make for the game, because it looks just like it. Now, one thing I noticed, which is kind of strange, for some reason, in the point in the game where you can, when you're selecting the pistol, and you can kind of rotate it around and look at it, which is one of the ways that I, you know, get a good close-up look at it to kind of check to see if how accurate it is and how well it copies the real thing, is for some reason this ladder sight right there is just gone. It's not there, but yet when you play the game, it is there. So it's actually in the game. It's just for some reason it's not in the selection screen. So I don't know what that's about, but it's in the game. So I mean, you know, they got it right. Basically, it's almost perfect. So that's really impressive of them. They got this thing right. And I guess, you know, it is the gun that the guy's holding on the cover of the box, so it would be pretty important to get that one right, I would say. So like you see in the game, it loads with these stripper clips right here. It's a little trickier in real life than it looks to be in the game. I'll say that. There's a reason why modern handguns don't still look like this. Now, another thing in the game, it holds 10 rounds, which some of them did, but this one holds 8. So again, that's not something they got wrong. That's just, you know, there's a lot of different variations of this thing, of the C96. So you just kind of hit that, it makes it go forward. All right, now they would have shot it one-handed back then, but I'm going to shoot it two-handed. Let's see. Let's take out some close targets. malfunction. I've been seeing a lot of this, so pull it all the way back, stick it back in there. Now this fires the little 7.63 round. It's not the 9mm. The 9mm version is referred to as the Red 9, but it could have been in the game. It could be supposedly the 9mm. I can't remember if it specifies that or not. All right. The caliber is not exactly something you can tell while you're playing the game, unless it's listed somewhere that I didn't pay attention to. It's not usually. I don't talk about the caliber a whole lot in these videos. It's not really something you can perceive while you're playing the game. But now this one was actually could have been used in World War I because it was produced sometime between. Of course, the model number C96 refers to 1896, or when this particular gun was developed or kind of came on the scene. But this one specifically, the one that's in my hands, was built around sometime between 1911 and 1915, and we don't know exactly which date that was, even though normally you can do that by looking at the serial number, because the factory that it was built in was like bombed and burned down during World War II, so a lot of that was lost. But based on the different characteristics of the gun, you can kind of tell kind of a range. So that's the range pre-World War I. So it's a really good shape for such an old gun, and it was actually brought back from Europe by a World War II veteran who is still alive, actually, and he let us borrow this gun to do some videos on it. And I thought I would do a little Battlefield 1 comparison, and you know what? It made my job easy. They got it right. Can you believe it? Now, one of the things that I've noticed that in Battlefield 1 they sort of screwed up, I guess, really with all the guns, that when you if you haven't fired all the rounds and you go to top it off, a lot of times it will they'll jack the round out that's in the chamber, but the amount of rounds that the character puts back into the gun doesn't reflect that lost round. So like, for example, if I fire, let me show you. Okay, so there's 8 rounds in the gun. So I'm gonna fire 2. Okay, so I fired 2 rounds. I've decided, you know, I'm about to, you know, get into the heat of battle again, so I better top it off so I've got the extra rounds in the game. You see him pull the slide back like that. Well, see, that round is gone. And then if I just put 2 rounds in and then reload it, I don't actually have 8 rounds. I only have 7. So that's something you'll notice. I think I'm almost all of the guns that they got wrong. Maybe not all of them, but a lot of them. I probably shouldn't, because I probably can't hit anything with it, but I'm going to try some long range. I'm going to take a shot at, I'm going to start with the tombstone on the second hill, see if I can hit that. Okay, I think this thing shoots a little to the right. All right, got it. That bullet gets out there fast. I'm going to go ahead and try the gong. Got it. Got it again. Okay, I'm going to try the red plate over there on the left. Got him. All right, missed it that time. Okay, it's going a little low. I moved it. Oh, it's jammed. It tends to hang up on the last round, and that's because the magazine spring is a little weak. It's a pretty common occurrence. All right. Okay, hold up a little bit. Okay, I'm not sure where it's hitting. But in general, this gun is a lot easier to shoot than the M1911 that I did in the last video, because the trigger is just, couldn't be any more different from that 1911 trigger. That thing had about the heaviest trigger on a handgun that I've ever pulled, except for maybe those really old Sigmas, if you guys ever have one of those. But this thing has like a really light trigger that kind of reminds me of maybe like a modern 1911. I mean, it's super light, very nice trigger. Which is kind of weird considering this gun is so old, but they got that part right. And of course, the stripper clip. Oh, I lost a round here. One of the disadvantages of a stripper clip is your ammo is a little less, you know, enclosed. Like if you had regular steel magazines, like for a 1911, when you put that ammo in there, it basically stays in there. You don't have to worry about it, you know, falling out or anything. But see, there's little grooves right there. Just line it up. Except I don't have this back all the way. There we go. Line it up, and then this part stops, and then you just push on the bullets themselves, the cartridges. You click down in there. Look at that, it worked. In the game, he kind of flips it backwards, but on this one, that doesn't seem to be something that would actually work. So let's pull it straight out. Just kind of give it a little shove there on the back. I'll shoot the last one one-handed, just like they would have back then and how they do it in the game. Oh, I haven't shot it fast yet, so I'll do that on this last clip. And we can see, kind of get a little comparison of how fast they allow you to shoot in the game based on what I can do. All right. All right, it wasn't exactly smooth or anything, but maybe that'll give you some idea. It's such an old gun, and the ammo's pretty expensive and hard to find. I don't want to just burn a ton of rounds through this thing. I'm just excited that it happened to have one of these, and be able to kind of show it to you guys and let you guys kind of get a look at the real thing if you don't have never seen one of these. And you know, just, I mean, I'm very impressed with how well they portray this gun. I mean, every last detail, back to the down to the notch here to attach the wooden stock, which is right here. This is how this works. Slides in right there like that, which might remind you of the other version of it in the game. It has the longer barrel on the fore end. But I mean, it's just, they just nailed it. I mean, it's almost exactly this gun in the game. It's very impressive. So anyways, I appreciate you guys for checking out the video, and also don't forget to support the people that support this channel, like budsgunshop.com. Go there and check them out. We've got lots of great deals on firearms. They even have ammo and optics and a few other things like that. So check them out. Also SDI, the Sonoran Desert Institute. You can check them out at sdi.edu. You want to get a degree in, see, they offer a degree in firearms technology and also in gunsmithing. You can check them out if you're interested in that. They also accept GI Bill. And then also the NRA. If you haven't joined the NRA, go down to the link in the description and join the NRA for a little bit of a discount. And of course, Federal ammo. Federal doesn't load that round, so that's not what I was shooting today, but they of course supply us with ammo for all of our videos, so we appreciate that greatly. And you can also don't forget to friend me on MySpace. I don't really have a lot of friends over there, and it kind of makes me feel not important. So go over to MySpace and friend my MySpace page. I feel like that's, you know, kind of the next up and coming social media site. You gotta get on. If you're in this business, you got to stay on top of things like that, or just not gonna make it. So go over there and make me feel good about myself. Friend me on MySpace, and then after you've done that, maybe like my Facebook page. You can find that link down in the description. The MySpace link isn't down there. You know, I figure, you know, if you want to friend me over there, you got to look for it. So anyways, I appreciate it, and this was fun to shoot this thing and enjoy this piece of history, literal piece of history, over 100 years old, and still looks great. All right, I'll see you guys later. Thanks.